Good afternoon. I bid to all judges, teachers, and my fellow SAEYLS delegates. My name is Hea Radhakrishnan, and I will be the moderator for the Poetry Recitation Competition of SAEYLS 2023. On behalf of the organizing committee, we warmly welcome all of you to be here at this Poetry Recitation Competition this afternoon. I can see that all of you are anticipating witnessing the amazing poets that will be presented to us later on. But before we proceed, we would like to ask for your cooperation to kindly mute your mics until we cue you to speak. Other than that, please do not spam the Zoom meeting chat box unless you're facing any sort of trouble. The tech support team will be glad to assist you in case of any trouble that may arise. Now, without further ado, allow me to introduce our distinguished judges for today's competition. First up, I would like to announce the head judge, Miss Charissa Ong Se-Ying, a #1 bestseller for her debut poetry and short stories book, Midnight Monologues. She has also authored 4 other books, including her latest book titled My Medicine. She is also the founder of Penguins Publishing, an independent publishing house in Malaysia. Next, allow me to introduce Dr. Azlin Zaiti Zainal, a senior lecturer at the English Language Department, Faculty of Languages and Linguistics, University Malaya. She's also the editor-in-chief of the Malaysian Journal of ELT Research, a journal of the Malaysian English Language Teaching Association. Last but not least, we have Miss Amy Suhana, currently serving as a Content and Marketing Officer at MIDP. She's also heavily involved in organizing events such as the Malaysian National Poetry Slam 2022 and the Kuala Lumpur Youth Literary Arts Festival 2022. For our supporters' information, the theme of the Poetry Recitation Competition is A Love Letter to Nature. To start off their recitation, our participants will be introducing themselves and then recite their poems live. Afterward, the judges will be given time to provide their remarks. Lastly, the participants will be having a Q&A session with the judges that will last for about 5 minutes. The SAEYLS technical support team will present a digital timer which will be visible to all present in this meeting. Now, for the moment we've all been waiting for, let's begin with the competition. Let us welcome our first participant competing today, Kaden Kok Jinren. You may start your recitation now.
Hi, can everyone hear me? Can everyone hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
All right, thank you. Very good afternoon to esteemed judges, the SAEYLS committee, and fellow participants. My name is Kaden Cobb from SNK Amnidin Baki, Malaysia. And today, I'd like to present my poem, A Love Letter to Nature. My dearest, my darling, my beloved, to the one I gave my heart to, my universe, my world, my cosmos. Here are some things I love about you. I love your eyes, the sun and the moon, taking turns to shine us with your light. Piercingly bright in the afternoon, serenely soft at night. I love your nose, gargantuan mountains capped with mist and snow, with waterfalls and hot spring fountains or a raging volcano. I love your lips, lush and green forests with flora and fauna of every kind. You wear their colors like lip gloss, oak, maple, cherry, and pine. I love your voice, a song without words. It could win all the singers' awards. The chirps of cicadas and the tweets of birds are but a piece of your vocal cords. I love your emotions, shifting like the desert sands. nobody else could ever understand. Your anger is the wildfire scorching the forest. Your fury is a ferocious hurricane. Your generosity is a plentiful harvest or a dry land blessed with rain. Your frustration is the storm and the thunder. Your calm is the waves crashing against the coast. Your compassion is the drizzle that puts us to slumber. You're what I love the most. I love how you stretch your arms at dawn, smearing colors across the sky. At night, you switch the stars on, brightening like the 4th of July. I love how you swell and sigh, gracefully twirling with the tide, splashing into inlets and bays, dancing to the rhythm inside. I love how your breeze ruffles my hair. Your soft breath caresses my skin. With a gentle touch, you kiss my face, whispering secrets of where you've been. Your knowledge is infinite, and your beauty is unparalleled. This poem is from the depths of my heart, where my feelings for you are held. I've walked this earth for decades, and I know my undying love is true. For I've seen many wonderful things, yet my heart still belongs to you. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Kaden. That was an amazing recitation to kickstart our competition. Now, on to our first remarks and Q&A session. We will begin with Dr. Azlin Zaiti. How was his recitation?
Okay, thank you for the recitation. I think it's a very well recited poem, well prepared and with no errors. I think the poem is really appropriate to the theme, and the gestures are appropriate for the recitation. The pauses and pace are effective, and it's generally a well-composed poem. In terms of areas for improvement, I think generally the gestures are appropriate for the recitation. However, I think the expressions could be added even more to make the recitation more engaging to the audience, to give it more feeling. In terms of overall impact, I think it's a very well composed poem. I think the use of figurative language to describe nature is effective, and we can feel the love flowing in the recitation. I do have a question for Kaden. I do feel that nature is well personified in the poem, and I am just curious about the line that you used in the poem. There's a line there. At night, you switch the stars on, brightening like the 4th of July. So my question is, why do you choose the 4th of July as a reference in this line? Okay, so that's my question. Thank you.
All right, the answer to that question is because the 4th of July is a time with love. It is where people join together to celebrate an occasion. And during the occasion, fireworks light up the sky. So it is the same as the way nature lights up the sky at night with stars.
All right. Thank you, Kaden. Are there any questions from the other judges? All right. Thank you to Dr. Azlin and to Kaden. Now, I would like to call upon our next participant, Malcolm Theo Sencher. Take it away, Malcolm.
All right. A very good afternoon to the honorable judges, wise timekeepers, teachers, and my fellow peers. Today, I'm going to be reciting a piece of poetry entitled Unmoving Nature, written by me. Nature, oh nature, beautiful and far much greater. Your beauty is like no other. Nothing can rival your wonder. Home to the most beautiful creatures, from the biggest to the most miniature, all with their own distinctive feature. So is the wonder of our nature. You have given us everything that is to give, letting man's world live. Nothing can compare to the gift that you have to give. What is there left for you to give? Some people take you for granted. Worse yet, only doing what they wanted, not caring about the things you protected. They've yet to realize what were damaged. Despite these, your beauty transcends further. Beauty like no other, from the changing of seasons to the changing of weather. For this is the true beauty of nature. From the clear blue sky to the birds humming lovely lullaby, to the meadows of flowers like paradise. All so beautiful, I want to look twice. Amidst all that's happened to us all, the trees, the mountains still stand tall. Nature is unmoving after all. Might I add, I should be in awe. I could enjoy the sunset for as long as it stays. I could watch the stars when they come into display. Again, I can watch the sun rises once the night's away. Quite a lovely cycle, wouldn't you say? There are many songs you have composed. A true composer, I suppose, like the sounds of rustling by the wind that blows, or even the sound of water that flows. All these wonderful sequences in one. There's so much that could be done to preserve, to protect the only one. If we don't, will there be none? As I leave us with that note, I must recall what I wrote. Nature is beautiful. Nature is unmoving. Nature is the reason we continue living. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Malcolm. That was an excellent performance. I will now give the floor to Miss Charissa to start the remarks and Q&A session. How was his recitation, Miss Charissa?
Hello, very nice job. You have all the pauses and pacing well, and you memorized it well also. So I like the metaphors that you used in the poem. And yeah, so if I would want to be nitpicky, I would say that you could actually play with the rise and the lower tones of your voice a bit more and put a little bit more feeling. Because the thing is, like, your gestures again are well, but it's more of just putting more emotion towards your body. Because right now you're like doing this. You could actually like dance with the poem, because it's like a song, right? So you don't want to like that, you know? So yeah, just feel the poem a little bit more. It's more of like, I know it's a recitation, but just act as if it's like, I mean, it is spoken word poetry, so you can actually see a couple of videos online on how they actually move their legs, move their shoulders, look around to give that extra emphasis on the poem. So your body is also part of the poem itself. So make sure to include that. Other than that, the words that you use are very simple and easy to understand. And I think people can really relate to it. So it's good. It's good. Good job.
Thank you so much, Miss Charissa. Miss Amy, do you have any questions to ask the participant?
So far, nothing for me. I just want to say, like, good job. Like, I really like it.
All right. Thank you, Miss Amy, and thank you to Malcolm as well. Next, let us welcome Raya Hassan Manik. The stage is all yours.
Thank you. Hi, my name is Raya Hassan Manik from Armenia School in the Maldives, and I'm going to recite to you my poem that I wrote called Sweet Tea. The ladies with their sweet teas wanted for me to find a man whose arch would provide the utmost protection and provision, the strongest yet most gentle of all souls, a lover. But am I not in love, that which I see in the cerulean hues cascading for miles? That which I see in the twinkles dancing on the shoreline, and would join my heart as a child every day in the pledges to play in what was home. How many displays do they need to understand the warmth that only rekindles when a walk to reclaim lucidity turns into the doting of the evergreens? Oh, how they shine effortlessly as hands reaching out to new worlds with the majesty and magnifico only a sultan could encompass. See the robin sing its harmony in love songs to me. I blow a kiss, she flies away, her chest heaving so solemn, and I know the magnitude of all the sentiment we share. When retirement brings only charming supplement, when the stars show face flaunting celestial presence, they were the escorts of our lost fathers, extending the inheritance of loyal devotion. Always a little over the way, I know, ever watching with tired little eyes. So drink your sweet tea, watch then the sun as it falls. Believe I have no need for consorts, my darlings in the magnolias and the waves and the wings. Already they spoke and withdrew their peace forever. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Raya. That was an amazing performance. I will now give the floor to Miss Amy to start the remarks and Q&A session.
Right, thank you so much. Hi, Raya. I really like the way you frame the poem in a way that it's so beautiful. Like, I really like the metaphors that you use, the imagery in itself. Like, it is something that you can actually relate and feel just by you describing those words. Good job. I think moving on to the Q&A, my first question would be, when you first get the theme of this poem, why do you choose to go with this direction, and why do you approach it in a beautiful manner in terms of like how do you describe the love for nature?
I think a lot of people think that to love something you have to love somebody else. So I was just thinking about how the biggest love that you can have is for nature, because like you grow up with nature all the time, and it's always with you throughout your life, and it's just a love that never leaves. So I was thinking about that.
All right, thank you so much. I think one thing
All right.
if I were to
Thank
add,
you, Raya, and thank you, Miss Amy.
yeah, sorry. Just one more thing. I think like take your time when you are reciting the poem. It's okay, like really feel the poem, like truly express it with all of your emotions, including like your facial expressions as well. Just move with the poem, like what Carissa said before. Yeah, I really enjoyed this performance. Thank you.
Thank you.
Right. Thank you, Raya, and thank you, Miss Amy. Miss Charissa, do you have any questions to ask the participant? All right. Thank you, Miss Charissa. Now, we will be taking a short 5-minute break before we proceed with our next participant. All participants and judges, you may turn off your cameras during the break. Stay tuned.
Is why you choose sport like in a life?
Welcome back, everyone. All participants and judges, please turn on your cameras now. Now, please welcome the next participant, Keisha Nair. You may begin now, Keisha.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Good day, everyone. My name is Keisha, and the title of my original poem is A Love Letter to Nature. I walk through your woods today, joy in my heart that overflows, blessed to bear true witness as such glorious beauty unfolds. The dawn sunbeams gaily emerge through the contoured leaves of trees, with hues of yellow, orange, and red, mingling with the revitalizing breeze. The morning's dewdrops hypnotically gleam, dangling precariously like shards of glass on the silky threads of orbed cobwebs, intertwining mazes across tall grass. The caressing winds gently tease the beholder of such a colorful sight. Primrose, foxglove, marigolds, and daisies, swaying with giddy, childish delight. It's such remarkable wonder to see them slowly grow, from seeds to buds and then to flowers. Oh, what a delightfully lovely show! The music of a multitude of birds, from slumber they come out to play. Songbirds, nightingales, finch, and warblers, through songs their messages relayed. My eyes follow in amusement and wonder at the buzzing of yellow and black. They flit from here to yonder with pockets of pollen on their backs. A shy and timid little cricket with tiny brown lacy wings greets her excited, lone partner as she joyously hops and sings. I hear the rippling and gurgling stream sauntering down its destined path, water so crystalline, cool, and clear, an invitation for an invigorating bath. The pond into where it collects, like liquid silver, the water glimmers. Beneath its surface lie magnificent gems, Olympic-rated aquatic swimmers. A young bullfrog awaits patiently on a vacant, matured lily pad. A dragonfly looms loftily overhead, suspended halfway, as if dead. I catch glimpses of a family of deer. In my longing heart, great joy it stirs. A doe, a buck, and two fawns appear. Bleats, snorts, and playful grunts I hear. A gray squirrel and the kits, from not a branch to branch they scurry. Nuts, seeds, and acorn-filled cheeks, bushy tails caught in mid-flight flurry. Just then, an almost extinct lynx with glorious tufts of gray hair glares at me with skeptical eyes, followed closely by an anxious stare. I thread down this tranquil path, paved with granules, pebbles, and cobbles. Each step I take makes me realize how phenomenal is nature's cycles. Far in the distance, the view displays the sight of rolling hills and majestic mountains, the meaning of beauty it conveys. Nature's work is like an endless fountain. From spring to summer, autumn to winter, she provides endlessly for all her children. Flora and fauna ceaselessly strive and thrive, unwavering throughout the millenniums. As I thread through on where you, O glorious nature, presides, I find that solace and peace now in my heart resides. I marvel at your ageless beauty while I stroll through your trails. The calmness, serenity, and panoramic tranquility, the soothing remedy never fails. As the truth dawns upon me, I realize that I'm a part of you and you are a part of me, as it always has and forever shall be. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Keisha. That was a wonderful performance. Now that we are done with the recitation, let's continue on with the remarks and Q&A session. We'll begin with Miss Teresa. How was her recitation?
Wow, that was exactly what I was talking about when I was giving the first feedback. You are an actor, 100%. So any reciter of any poem or I even appreciate the background, the effort that you put in the background. So it's just these little things. So I would, as for your piece itself, you presented it very clearly. The emotions are there. Again, if I would like to nitpick, it's more of the content. So the first 70% of the poem, it's more of a descriptive part of nature. So instead of just telling your listeners about how nature looks like, you can actually relate it to society and how nature is closely tied to us, right? Rather than saying the tree is green and that it's swaying in the wind. I actually wrote something similar. So for example, there's one paragraph I wrote, but be soil and rock, unseen, trodden, but strong, elevate civilizations, plot transformation, even if history gets your name wrong. So it's more of you use the metaphors of earth and nature to kind of relate it to someone that is listening, so they can actually see the beauty of nature and also see the beauty of and how it relates, because nature builds everything. It's part of us. So instead of putting it too much of the third person kind of view of I'm just viewing nature, it should be something a little bit more personal, how it affects me, how it affects the listener. Give them a reason and a very strong emotion to leave at the end of your poem, because the last few lines are the most impactful. Yeah, so that's my feedback.
All right, thank you so much, Miss Teresa. Miss Amy, do you have any questions to ask the participant?
Hi, Keisha. Great job. I think well executed. The enunciation was great. It was really attention grabber. It's really nice to follow through. My question is, how do you, as a poet, would encourage more people to have the love for nature?
I think that as people and as a generation, we are very glued to our phones and gadgets. So it's really hard for us to appreciate nature and what she has to offer. So I think through revenues like poetry and storytelling and public speaking, it's a great way for other people to get to know more about nature and put down their phones for once and actually take a look around them, because nature has so much to offer. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Keisha.
Thank you so much to Keisha and to the wonderful judges. We will be moving on with our next participant, Sharvin Puspanathan. You may begin your recitation now.
A very good afternoon to the honorable judges, teachers, and my fellow participants. My name is Sharvin, and I'm going to recite a poem titled A Love Letter to Nature. Dear beloved nature, there are so many things that I want to say to you. You're the only one that crosses my mind constantly throughout the day. You're the only one who can make me smile without trying. Words can't express my feelings towards you. You are beautiful regardless day or night. You're a home to all of us. You're the reason I could walk. You're the reason I could travel to different places. Thank you for nurturing us with food and water. Without you, there's no life. Thank you for keeping us safe in your hands. You're the best medicine for all of us. Nature, you are wonderful. You are great. You are awesome. You are something else. Outstanding. I wish I could talk to you during my hard times. You're the only one who I can never get tired of talking to. Some call you Mother Nature. You have been here longer than any living being. You do not need mankind to go on, but mankind needs you. Our future depends on you. You are part of the water. In other words, we call it ocean. Every raindrop, it all comes back to you. Every living being here needs you. You're the source. You give, we take, but you can always take them back. It's sad that mankind failed to understand the importance of you. On behalf of mankind, I'm asking for an apology for all our wrongdoings. Humans chopping down your trees makes me mad, but you still give us fresh air to breathe. You're the sky. You protect us like a shelter. Without you, we will probably burn. Cars, factories, and dust make you polluted, but you are still there like nothing happened. Like I said, words can't express how amazing you are. Nature, thank you, thank you, thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Sharvin. That was an excellent performance. Now, let's go to the next part, which is the remarks and Q&A session. We'll start off with Miss Amy. How was his recitation?
Thank you. Hi, Sharvin.
Hello.
It was a really moving poem. I can feel the transition from, being happy with how the earth is, like how the natures are, and then transitioning to things such as like regretting what the humankind have like done to our mother nature. I really like that. I think that's like the unique part of your poem. I think in terms of like what you can improve on, I think play a lot with your facial expressions as well, because part of the delivering your poem is also getting people to understand what you actually felt and you actually mean your poem. So my question is, when you talk about regretting what we have done to our mother nature, what is your responsibility as a youth to how do you then contribute back to mother nature?
Okay, my answer is, the place where they chop down the trees, we can plant back more trees there, like better plants, more new plants, and in different places too. That's all from me.
All right, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sharvin and Miss Amy. Miss Chersa, do you have any questions to ask the participant?
Yeah. Why did you choose a letter instead of a
Because
traditional stanza? Yeah.
because honestly, I love writing love letters to nature because nature has done a lot of things for us, but we have done nothing for them. So I'm letting nature know how I feel for them, for nature.
Okay, so you just, as a person, you like writing letters. That's why.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I think just to have some constructive feedback, probably could use a little bit more metaphors also, just to give it a little bit more poetic element, to make it less sound like a journal. Yeah, so you can be a little bit more creative with that as well, and cute background. I like the little heart there.
Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Sharvin, and thank you to Miss Teresa as well. Now, we will be taking a short 5-minute break before we proceed with our next participant. All participants and judges, you may turn off your cameras during the break. Stay tuned. All right. Welcome back, everyone. All participants and judges, please turn on your cameras. Next, please welcome our next participant, Nyla Safira. You may begin now, Nyla.
Sorry, dear masterpiece. Nature, how should you be defined? Neither ink nor paints can express your exquisity. You're more than plants and bees and air. I cannot fathom such elegance and beauty. You to me are a wonderland filled with mystery and enchantment. Your charm is difficult to understand. You're beautiful is an understatement. But then I heard that your beauty has been marred by ungrateful humans like me. We cut your trees, pollute your air, we use up your resources irresponsibly. Please accept my apologies for using you up like a madman. I am so sorry for my carelessness. Sorry for being the ungrateful human. You used to tell me to love the birds, but I caged them for my own. I never listened to their cry for freedom. Sometimes I shoot them with gun or stone. We used to talk while swimming in your waters. We talk about your reefs and shells and fish. You reminded me to take care of them, that they last long is your wish. I did not listen to you, did I? I like using chemicals and dynamites. I still throw garbages to your waters. I never thought of their plight. I also remember that day you plead to me to not cut down so many trees. You said those trees will be my refuge from heavy rains or scorching heat. You begged and cried in despair, but my heart is hardened, my ears all deaf to your screams of pain and loss. You left. I overlooked all that you keep on doing for me. How you comfort me when I'm sad. How you cure all these heartaches. How you hush me when I'm mad. As I walk by the shore and feel the breeze, the gentle waves of water soothe me. The coarse sand underneath my feet brings a smooth sensation that I cannot unsee. As I gaze upon the sky and look at the stars, I am in awe to realize your selflessness. The moon that brightens the dark night, show your love to me, irregardless. How are you now, beloved masterpiece? How is your vast greeneries? How many storms and earthquakes have you endured? How clean are your streams and valleys? I apologize for not listening to you. I apologize for being unappreciative. I am so sorry for just being human. I am so sorry for the love I chose not to give. I hope I am not too late to ask you, my dear one, in this letter that has some rhyme. Do I still have a place in your heart? Can I ask you again to chat sometimes? I miss our talks while playing with the birds or sitting underneath a tree. I miss our banters while splashing waters. I miss the love you have for me. Hush now, dear nature. Don't cry. I want to do better for you. Well, I cannot promise you things I might do again, but I will listen more. This true. My dear masterpiece, give me a chance. You still love me, don't you? You still love me. Please do. I'm begging you.
I have to say, Nyla, you were incredible. Thank you for your recitation. Now, I'll pass the mic to Dr. Azlin to start the remarks and Q&A session.
Thank you, Nyla, for the recitation. It's a very expressive recitation, I think, and it's clear and very well prepared. The poem itself is appropriate to the theme. The gestures, the pausing, the pace are all very effective. In terms of expressions, it's clear that you have shown your feelings about nature here, yeah. And in terms of overall impact, I think you can feel. I mean, as listener, I think you can feel a sense of regret in this poem, yeah, by what you have recited about the things that humans have done, yeah. And I do have a question about your recitation just now. Although rhyming is not the strength of this poem, I do think that you have emphasized the message that humans have done things that could harm nature, and nature, as you described just now, is a masterpiece. Yeah. So humans have harmed nature, but you have at the end trying to console nature, and also you ask the question, do you still love me? So I just want to know, why is it important for you that nature still loves you? Okay, so could you explain that? Why are you pleading for nature to love you in this poem? So if you could explain that further, that would be great. All right, thank you very much.
Thank you for the question. For me, why is it important that nature still love me and nature still like wants to accept me is that when we don't have anyone else, nature is our home. Nature is our medicine. Nature is like the place where we can heal. Like for example, when we are sad, we often go to beach, we watch the sunset, and we call it healing. And that is where we heal from all of our pain, our sadness. When everyone cannot listen to me, when we don't know where to go, when we don't have anyone else, nature is there for us. Nature is there to give us her, her beauty. Nature is there to shine like the stars that shine in the dark night. Imagine without stars, there are all darks. And stars are like stars, sun, and everything like shines in our life. It gives us hope that there is another day. It gives us strength. It gives us hope that there is someone that can cure all of our heartaches and our problems and pains. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Nyla. Are there any questions from other judges?
I do have one. Okay, sorry. Hi, Nyla. I really like your poem. It's very expressive. Like what Doctor said earlier, like you can actually feel what you're delivering. I just have one question for you. When you say that you will listen to the nature, what are you exactly listening to?
Listening to how humans mistreated them and how nature wants me to do better. What I did is wrong, and I want to listen to nature. What nature actually feels about me. What nature wants me to do better. How nature actually feels about what other people feel. So I can do better. I won't do what nature don't like me to do, and I will surely do something that makes nature happy because nature gives me happiness. Nature cures all my heartaches, all my pains, and everything.
All right, thank you so much.
All right, thank you so much, Nyla, and thank you to the judges. So our next participant is Ong Yu Hui, but unfortunately, she's unable to be in this meeting today. Hence, we will be playing her pre-recorded recitation right now.
A very good day to the honorable judges, teachers, and fellow friends. Today I'd like to present a poem entitled A Hyacinth. Once a prosperous land with greenery, filled with animals that roamed freely, beautiful flowers with colors that shone sweetly, now reduced, empty, barren, and eerie. Wanting to right what was wrong, I held flowers and tried to be strong. Hyacinths I held, walking with a mission and an apology to tell. But as I stepped, another tree fell. Tightly the hyacinths I held the burdens I needed to tell. But every forward motion was pushed back, and I understood that there was something I lacked. I understood that nature didn't want my letter of apology, as the beautiful flower hyacinth means. Sorry, please forgive me. As I lay on the ground, a tree was cut down with a large sound. Another tree, another life, another home gone due to strife. The animals were filled with rife. But an important question still lingers. Why didn't nature accept my hyacinths and distill bitter? Why didn't nature accept my letter of apology? To start anew and say sorry. To find the answer to this mystery, let's turn back the clock to a time where birds flew in flocks, of happy times when nature was still sublime, with beautiful flowers and skies so blue, magnificent species of animals that grew. Nature was content and I was too. So what changed? Where was our love that was exchanged? How did love letters become letters of empty promises? Years before this sad day, we'd all say, we'll rid the world of pollution. Let's work together as a civilization, doing 3 R's as a prevention, reducing carbon dioxide emission. Protecting wildlife and their habitats was our intention. But there is a single truth that I'd like to say. The we were only an illusion. I will say it without hesitation. The we did not include me. I didn't put in enough effort to prevent the downfall of nature. I'd always say, I'm not at fault, they are at fault. Who is this they? Well, they are just someone imaginary to push away the responsibility from me. I think I found the answer to my question. The reason why nature denies my letter of apology. Maybe perhaps by chance and understanding, maybe you are the same as me too. Always blaming and praising efforts that were always just the same. The answer to the question applies to all of us. In truth, we are so quick to apologize, so quick that we didn't realize that all we know to do was to say sorry as an ending. We are always blaming, always giving excuses and apologizing, as well as turning a blind eye while nature is raging. Thus, we should all commit, choose to recycle and don't quit, choose to work to the highest summit, choose to never pollute as a habit. Together, we can keep fighting to prevent the downfall of nature as an ending. If each and every one of us don't fight boldly, we might never witness nature in all its majesty. Because here's another question. If you don't fight, then who will? We should all live our lives without any regrets. Instead of blaming and just staying upset. Instead of a hyacinth where we sing our apologies. This time our letters should now contain our love. A true love letter to nature. Together, you and I can take a step towards true change. Keep moving forward until we can witness true prosperity. For nature, that will always be our priority. Thank you.
I think we can all agree that that was a wonderful recitation from Ong Yu Hui. As she's not in the meeting, we will be skipping her Q&A session, but let's pass the mic to Miss Charissa for any remarks that she may have.
All right, cool. If she's viewing this video later, I would like to say good job. So I think her emotions are there. It's very well organized in a way where, you know, her ending speech, it's very clear what she's trying to do at the end, which is motivating people. So one thing that probably she could improve on is that her volume, it's kind of monotonous. So it's just kind of like excited all the while, like, ah, it's like, it's not like a up, down kind of thing. So whenever you're hearing someone tell a story, in order to get them engaged, you have different volumes. I think a couple of participants before demonstrated that. So it's more of just like you are starting slow, starting soft, or starting like strong. But it's not strong all the time. Because the thing is, if it's strong all the time, then like the impact isn't there anymore when you want to be strong. So playing with contrasts of volumes, contrast of intensity is very important. Yeah, so it's a bit tricky with spoken word rather than page poetry when you can just read it on your own. So that is something that I hope she can really practice a bit more. Other than that, I have no other questions.
Thank you so much, Miss Charissa. Miss Amy, would you like to say anything?
I agree with what Carissa has said earlier, so I have nothing to add.
All right. Thank you to the judges and to Ong Yu Hui. Now we will be taking a short 5-minute break before we proceed with our next participant. All participants and judges, you may turn off your cameras during the break. Stay tuned. All right, welcome back, everyone. All participants and judges, please turn on your cameras. Now, please welcome the next participant, Putri Dayang Nakisha binti Abang Zulkifli. I will pass the floor now to her.
Hi, greetings to the honorable and respected judges, and good day to my fellow peers. So my name is Putri Dayang Nakisha, and I'm from SMK Damansara Utama, and today I will be reciting a poem that I wrote titled A Love Letter to Nature. I shall begin. When I hear you, my heart doesn't skip a beat. It feels at ease, like I'm right where I'm meant to be with you, to feel you around me. The smell of the after rain, the scent of the forest, the chirping of the birds, the beautiful evergreen trees, so divine and sad to be unseen. The beautiful mountains of the Himalayas, the gushing river of the Amazon, the greatest canyon of the Grand, the whitest snow, the hottest desert. Beautiful. My glorious earth beauty can't compete. The stars are beautiful, but why would I need extraterrestrial beauty when I have it right around me? Captivating and enchanting beauty, the ancient sea, which many myths and stories are written by, the ocean tides high and low, home to God's divine creatures, where sea angels call home. Millions of plankton shine bright in the sea. It looks as though you are looking into the most enchanting night sky. The land I won't forget about. Your greens decorate the plains in an ever-loving way. Heavenly mountains so mighty and tall, mountains that have been there for many millennium, that it dates so far back that it said to once be home to Greek gods. The beauty is Mount Olympus. Many more, apologies. My beauty, your flower, periwinkle and daisies, and many more are plucked to be given to a lover, but I love you. I shall plant and care for your beauty, plant a garden to show those who only see a few sides to your essence, to make them appreciate and see you the way I see you. You are sensational. Just how the cliffsides are sensational. Even in rainy or cloudy weather, you leave me speechless. It doesn't take the sun to show your beauty. You independently do it already. Nature, you truly are a charmer. My heart is in awe with your magnificent beauty. My lady, Earth, you truly are everything. My days are numbered, but yours shall forever live on till the sun begins to set from east to west. I need you, but you do not need me. When I lay rest, we shall be reunited. Hug me once more. Bless me with your warm embrace. 6 feet under my eternal resting place. Thank you. That is my poem. Oh.
Thank you so much, Putri Dayang Nakisha. You did amazing. I'd now like to pass the mic to Miss Amy to start the remarks and Q&A session.
Hi, Putri. Amazing. Like, it's really amazing. Like, this is what you usually hear, like on like button poetry and stuff. Like, this is what I grew up with. I really, really appreciate your writing. It's really good. It's really expressive. With the way you use your metaphor, your imagery is so beautiful. It's so spot on, and the way you deliver it, like you can feel every single word. You just meant it. Like, it's really, really nice. And talk about the ending. Like how we go back to nature, like 6 feet under. Really, really beautiful. I just have one question. From your personal point of view, how much do you relate to nature?
To answer to that question, I've always like surrounded myself with nature, even growing up. I haven't experienced like many types of nature since I rarely visit outside of Malaysia, but this country alone is enough to make me appreciate the beauty of nature. And I relate it so much because you find a sense of tranquility when you are in nature, when the bustling city, just makes you feel stressed and everything. You just, either you go to the park or you go to the forest, you just sit there and you just appreciate everything that is around you, and it really grounds you and humbles you. So I relate to it quite a lot.
All right.
Thank
Thank
you.
you so much.
Thank you, by the way, thank you.
All right, thank you so much. And thank you to Miss Amy as well. Miss Teresa, do you have anything to ask the participant?
I got things to say. You're really good, girl. Like, can you please submit something to my company? So how I judge a really good poem is that I could remember your words. So I really love the word when you say that you don't need the sun to show your beauty because you do it independently. And that other word where I need you, but you don't need me. So that is really, really impactful. Because I like how you use the contrast between like people, praising sun as a god and people praising earth as a god as well. So there's this contrast between both of these elements. So I like how you pit these two against each other, and it's really, really interesting. Yeah, girl, just continue what you're doing. You're so cute also, by the way. Good job, amazing.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much to the judges and to Putri Daring Nakisha. Now, let's move on to our next participant, Aishka Radia Fakri. You may begin now, Aishka.
Okay. Do my voice sounds clear?
Yes, it does.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. The honorable judges and beloved audience, let me introduce myself. My name is Aiska Radia Fahri, and I'm from Al-Azhar 41 Islamic Junior High School, Summarecon Serpong, Indonesia. In this beautiful day, I will recite a poem with the theme of a love letter to nature. Enjoy! I'll pray for nature's peace, where the seas and the oceans breeze, waves that will let you feel at ease, with those dolphins that jump and swim across the seas. But did it feel the same as before? Now I see trash and cans across the river shore. The turtle swims with plastic and straws to the core, surviving in polluted waters, a challenge they abhor. I'll pray for nature's grace, for the forests with their maple tree, as they can move free, and the sense of wood, like my dad's perfume, lingers in a sacred space. But did it feel the same as before? The flames now devouring the trees we adore, smoke rising up to the sky once more, and a cry of a fawn left alone to explore. I'll pray for nature's harmony, so the birds chirping in the sunny summer, and so the kids play snow in the winter, and how leaves fall gracefully in the autumn. But did it feel the same as before? Now I see people are dying, people are suffering, people are in pain because of their reckless living. And dear the Mother Earth, let me stay in this place forever, with no sores and pain, and just a safe feeling and happier than ever. Let these little poems of hope flies like the birds, like a girl dancing with the winds, like a star shines the brightest in the skies, like a sense of freedom and full of happiness. And I will always pray for the nature, for my home, my journey, and my future. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you so much for the lovely performance, Aishka. Now, let's have some time for Dr. Azlin to start the remarks and Q&A session.
Thank you, Radia, for the well-recited poem. I think your recitation is expressive. You've shown enthusiasm and passion for the subject. I think it's well prepared. The overall theme, of the poem, I think it's appropriate. And of course, you've shown gestures that are related to the words of the poem. The pauses, the pace are all effective. And you do engage your listener with all these elements that I mentioned just now. And in terms of the poem itself, I think the overall impact that we could get from your recitation is that we do see you praying for a better future for nature. Yeah, you've shown how you've shown contrast in terms of how nature, the positive aspects of nature, and of course, whether or not we could see this in the future, now and in the future. So you contrast that with the devastation and that occurred currently. Yeah. And I think there are some powerful imageries used in your poem, like the cry of the fawn left alone once more. So you could see that the line used as an impact, as an effect of the devastation, like the burning of the forest. So you could see that, and of course, the image of the turtle and the straw. I mean, the turtle stuck with the straw swimming. I think that is also another imagery that you have effectively used in your poem to highlight this impact of harm that has been done to nature. So my question is, so you have, how do you think your poem, how do you think your poem could get people to change, so that they could treat nature better? So that is the question from me. Thank you.
Thank you for the question, Miss. For me, I guess the elements that I made and the imaginary things like the turtles and the cravathon, or like lingers in, like the things that imagine, the elements from the imaginary poems could engage the people or the person that have saw my poems and read my poems. And I guess that's it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Aishka, and to Dr. Azlin. To the other judges, do you have any questions you would like to ask the participant?
I just have to say, cute VR setup though. Like, I really like that. It really helps
Thank you.
with delivery. Yeah.
Thank you so much to the judges and to Aishka. Lastly, let's welcome Ahmad Jaris bin Ahmad Jafar to present his recitation.
Oh nature, how I love you so, from mountains high to oceans low. You fill my heart with joy and wonder, and take me to places far and yonder. You are the very soul of life, the source of all that's pure and bright. From the smallest blade of lush green grass to the azure skies above, so endless and vast. Your forests green, your deserts dry, your rivers clear, your mountains high. All of these are wonders bright that fill my soul with pure delight. The flowers that bloom, the birds that sing, the gentle breeze that graces my skin. All of these are your gifts to us, so heavenly and bounteous. Your quietude, your calming grace, your power, your majesty and grace. All of these I treasure dear, and in my heart forever steer. Oh nature, how you soothe my soul and make me feel completely whole. Your beauty brings me endless pleasure and fills my life with boundless treasure. I promise to take care of you and cherish all the things you do. I'll walk softly on your sacred ground and spread your love all around. So, nature, hear my love letter as I pledge my love forever to you, the very source of life that banishes all fear and strife. I'll always treasure all you give and live my life the way you live. With kindness, love, and empathy, and in your arms I'll always be. Oh nature, how I love you so. And with this letter, I hope you know that my love for you will always stay, forever and always, every single day.
Thank you so much for the wonderful recitation, Jaris. I will now pass the floor to Dr. Azlin to start the remarks and Q&A session.
Thank you for the recitation, Jaris. I think the recitation is clear. There are no errors there. Modulation is fine. I think the appropriateness of the poem is clear with nice use of imageries. Yeah. Although there are places that could be improved, like more expressions and perhaps a bit more gestures. Okay, but on the whole, I think the poem is well written, and the rhyming, especially in this poem, is effective. In terms of overall impact, I do think that it is a very sweet poem. You can feel the love for nature in this poem with the choices of words, and I think careful attention has been paid to the rhyming in the composing the poem. From a more descriptive line, such as from the smallest blade of lush green grass to the azure skies above so endless and vast. So this is one example of a very descriptive imagery, but there's also the more simple line, like your beauty brings me endless pleasure and fills my life with boundless treasure. I do have a question about the poem in a particular line. After all the lines that focus on the physical description of nature, you have the line, and live my life the way you live, with kindness, love, and empathy, and in your arms I will always be. Can you explain a bit more about that particular line? Because how is nature kind? And how does nature show love and empathy when previous lines that you recited are mostly based on the physical description of nature? So can you explain a bit more about that? Thank you.
Hello? Yeah, all right. Hello. So regarding the question, how is nature kind? So I believe nature is kind because it provides us with all our daily needs, such as, the oxygen, the food we eat, and also the materials to build our house, and basically everything we need to live in this world. And I think it's really kind that it gives us without asking for anything in return. And for the physical aspect of it, for hugging, I don't really have much to say about it, but it's basically just like a metaphor, I guess, for how nature is. So yeah, that's all.
Thank you so much to Jaris and to Dr. Azlin. To the other judges, is there anything you would like to ask the participant?
I'm good. But it's a very sweet poem. I really like it. It's very short and sweet. I like it. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you so much once again to Jairus and to the judges. Now, all the recitations that have been presented today have portrayed various messages and lessons. I hope that we were all able to learn something throughout this competition. I'm sure that everyone has put in a lot of effort and hard work for this competition, and we would sincerely like to thank everyone for making this afternoon a success. Now, let's all hear what the judges have to comment on for this poetry recitation competition. First up, let's hear the comments from our head judge, Miss Charissa.
Good job, everyone, today. I'm actually very impressed. The way you guys memorize things, that's the worst thing for me. Like, I'm horrible at memorizing, but so good on you guys for doing that, and also writing all this amazing stuff. I really appreciate it. Probably this is a overall comment to everyone, I think. Instead of taking the theme nature so literally, you can actually research a little bit more on how nature affects, or like what is the nature of nature, right? For example, go down to the microorganism level and understand how different patterns are formed, how things grow, how each cell communicates to another cell. So just put a little bit more research and a little bit more perspective onto the topic itself, because you'd want to be different from others, right? Because everyone's going to be talking about grass, everyone's going to be talking about a tree, everyone's going to be talking about water. So try to be a little bit different. Always, I don't know, you can do a mind map or something, or use ChatGPT or something to, like, I don't know, open your mind to see how other ways you can approach the topic, rather than just looking at nature. It's like, nature is grass kind of thing. So explore, research a little bit more if you want to really stand out. Yeah, that's what I have to say. But again, good job, everyone. I'm actually really impressed. I do own a publishing company, so you do have a future in poetry if you want to. Little plug in. But other than that, good job, good job.
All right, thank you so much, Miss Charissa. Now let's all hear from Miss Amy.
All right, hi everyone. My name is Amy. Again, it's a privilege to be here, to be listening to some of the original pieces, and like in the future when you actually made it successful, I can honestly say that like I've heard your first pieces, together with Carissa. So yeah, I think overall, I think writing poetry isn't something that is easy, especially for me. Back in high school, when you do poetry, people will be like, "Oh, you're such a nerd," kind of thing. But when you actually understand why you love poetry and you do what you do, I think it's something that's really amazing. Thank you so much for stepping up and participating in this tournament. I think again, like what Carissa said earlier, when you exploring the theme, try to not take it literally. There's always a lot of ways for you to interpret it. And the way you construct your poetry is not defined by what the society needs you to do. It's always about what you want to do. How do you want to present yourself? Be different. And you're allowed to be different, and it's fine and it's great. And I think in terms of the performances as well, thank you for those who are making an extra effort with your props and everything. It's really, really great, especially online where you literally are sitting in front of your laptop, unsure whether or not we're actually listening, but do know that we are listening to you. We appreciate you. And we really, really love the work that you do. So, you can always send some pieces to Carissa to publish. It really, and also there are also other platforms as well, especially from me, from MIDP, we do host National Slam Poetry every year. So maybe you want to try out your new materials. Carissa was one of our judges last year as well. And I'm really, really glad that there's actually more talent in the poetry scene in Malaysia. Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Miss Amy. Now, this marks the end of the judges commenting section. Thank you to our panel of judges for your insightful comments. To the judges, please stay back after this competition for the judges' deliberation. Thank you. With that, we have come to the end of today's agenda. I hope all the participants as well as our supporters have enjoyed their time during this competition. On behalf of the organizing committee, I would like to apologize if we have made any mistakes throughout this competition period. I hope to see you all again tomorrow to announce the winners for the poetry recitation competition. Have a pleasant day ahead. Before we leave, we would like to request for all our attendees to turn on their cameras as we would like to take a few photos. One of the members of our tech support team will be taking the photos for today's competition.